This is the OMFL.
You can't touch this.
And you're in the mix with Kinda Real Name. Here's another OMFL production.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to All 22. I said that I was going to do a series of these, and I wanted to do one on offensive passing FPR, which I got to be honest, there's not actually a whole lot of stuff to cover here, and so this is going to be a pretty short video. I do recommend watching the offensive rushing FPR because that is where we see a lot of our mistakes happen in this league. There's a few small things that we can kind of cover here, and we're going to just jump right into it and see what we can cover and see if we can make it happen. This is another thing about offensive passing FPRs. It's actually tougher to do in practice mode and without the right quarterbacks, because some of this stuff really depends on the quarterback. But I'm gonna see if I can't replicate the throwing outside of the numbers. And so we've always had a rule here. We'll get it out, Nate. A rule that states if you get to the numbers, you need to throw it away or you need to run with your quarterback. And that's because Madden will pull defenders. When you get to the numbers, it'll pull defenders off of covering players and go after the quarterback, which just leaves for an easy completion. So again, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to replicate this, but we're going to see if we can. We're going to just do a shotgun formation, 3 wide. We're going to have a lot of routes coming to the right side. I'm going to see if I can get around. That's another thing is like my team, a lot of times when I go to escape the pocket, the left tackle or right tackle will just completely let loose whoever that defensive end is. So I'm going to see if I can't get around the side there and do some coverage here. But we'll just do a straight nickel formation. Let's even just try man. We're just going to try straight up man and see how this works out. Again, I'm going to try to get to the numbers here and see if it'll pull off and I can show exactly what we're talking about. So you can see here. I didn't actually pull off that time. See, this just because I'm trying to show this, it's not gonna actually do it. It really kind of depends on if you're calling the right plays or not. Go here to the corner. Nope, didn't pull it off again. He just kind of hovered there. So maybe I'm not gonna be able to replicate this. I have seen it in games. It doesn't happen often. This is a little bit of an, oh, here we go. We knew that was gonna happen. There's the guard and just not the guard, the tackle, my right tackle, just letting that guy go. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate this. Let me see if I can just try to mix it up with the zone play. But it is good. It does look like maybe this is a rule that can go away because no one is actually coming off of my guy. Let's try it in a zone. I have seen this in games, though. Somebody has showed me this in games, so we'll see if we can't choose a new play. We're doing this together, so maybe we're finding some old rules that don't need to be here any longer, but see if we can't replicate it in the zone. Let's go nickel. Cover 3 sky. See if that works. Nope. Well, maybe that's a rule that can go away. I'll bring this to the board. I could have swore, though, this was brought to my attention, and There he goes. That time it worked. And that's what I was trying to avoid. If you've seen, all of a sudden, as I started to go towards the line of scrimmage, that cornerback pulls off of the post that he's supposed to be covering deep. I could have swore I had seen this before, and now I was able to replicate it. See how he pulls off of him and just leaves that guy wide open.
Here we go. Ready, ready.
I'm not going to be able to get past on you. I'm out of here. That was 2 plays where we could see it. And that's why it's in the rule book, is to avoid that kind of stuff happening. Just running to the sidelines, sitting there waiting, letting guys just run around. And it doesn't work like it used to. I'll admit it is much, much better. But it's still here. And it's still a little bit of a problem. Especially if you have a running quarterback. I don't have a running quarterback. And so it's not going to be as big of a problem. Let me choose a new play here. I'm going to show you the other problem that we've had. Again, my offensive line plays terrible. They shouldn't play terrible, but they do. And so I don't know if 100% will be able to see this. Trying to find a 9. Here we go. Just do X post. We'll just play this against a normal defense. We'll just do a 4-3 man defense. And this is dropping back too far. So we ask guys to keep it, don't drop back 20 yards. And I've seen this a couple of different times. Now, again, depends on your team, because sometimes those tackles will let that defensive end go if you are dropping back too far. But what has also happened a lot of times is you just drop back and drop back and drop back, and it gives you all the time in the world to let these deeper plays develop. So we'll look at the post and we'll look at Traquan Smith, and I'll see if I just can't drop back and drop back, drop back. My guy actually stopped there for a second. So I'm just going to try running back. Again, I'm not very good at making these plays happen. That's probably part of my problem. And my offensive line cannot block my defensive line.
Here we go, here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Now.
None of this is working, is it? I've got no time to even make it happen, and Joe Burrow keeps pausing. Let's try this. Let's try the L. I think it's L2. Yeah, that's it. That's what people are using a lot. Now, of course, Shea in a 4-3 is just going to blow up my stupid fullback every single play now. Maybe I should swap to a 4-3. Let me put myself in a 3-4 and see if that... because that's what my team is built for. And Shea's just freaking blitzing in, and my guard's letting him in every time. So it's not really working out the way I'd hope. We'll go goes. And we'll put this team in a... I can't run a 4-3 because this is the Saints playbook. See if I can get us in a quarter zone so he doesn't come in and blitz me. We'll just look for these deep developing routes. Of course, I'm terrible at this stuff, but you can see dropping back just buys you a whole lot of time. At least it's supposed to. There we go. Now that's what I was looking for. Told you guys I'm not very good at this stuff, but you can see he didn't do the pause, which is what was messing me up there for so many times. I don't know how I was able. There we go. You see why I'm not a very good example of why these are rules, because some of you are actually really good Madden players, and you can do it. So that's how you avoid that, is you just immediately go to the side. And when you immediately go to the side, he doesn't do the drop back thing. So I'm learning with you as we go here. So you'll see, like, immediately when I go to the side, he doesn't do that whole weird drop back thing. And it just buys me some extra time. That time Pickney just throws up my left tackle and he gets through. Of course, my guys are going to just drop everything now, huh?
Here we go. Get it.
So right here, this is the perfect example of why we don't want you dropping that far back. Of course, terrible pass and all, and terrible routes. I'm only going to get 2 go routes against a man defense, but you can just see he had all day. You just sit back here all day. Joey Burrow, thank you. I appreciate you throwing some really terrible passes. What is Joey Burrow's issue here?
Set, ready.
But you get a speedy quarterback and get him doing this right here, and it's not so much fun. So again, that's pretty much the only rules that we have when it comes to the quarterback play and throwing, outside of like doing funky stuff with routes. I guess we could look at a couple of those. Again, I'm not an expert with this stuff when it comes to different routes, but throwing it when you get to the numbers, throwing it away or running it, not dropping back a stupid amount, 15, 20 yards. It's just crazy, which I've seen a couple different times. The guys just sit back there with all the time. And when you're running 9-go routes, you're running like real plays. It just leaves guys wide open. But let's see if I can't find the play that I'm talking about here. And then I got to wrap this up. We'll run the goes. Run them against a man defense. Pass it up. And then I'm going to start changing plays, right? We're gonna send Traquan Smith on a slant. Right, when you start doing this every single play, it becomes really not fun to play against, right? Now and let it go fast enough. But you start trying to trick the AI, right? The reason I would send Traquan Smith on a slant is I'm sending Thomas to clear it out. I'm sending multiple guys across the face of the defense, and I can just kind of pick my poison of what exactly will work for my team. Like, that's the kind of stuff we're trying to avoid. Like, run the plays that are in the playbook and stop trying to manipulate the AI, because it doesn't make you a good player. It just makes you a really good person who's learned how to control Madden and make plays happen. So again, that's the kind of like other passing play calling stuff that we're trying to avoid.
60 orange.
That's really it. I mean, when it comes down to passing, there's not a whole lot. Try not to play call manipulate. Try not to manipulate the pocket by going out too far, and try not to manipulate the defense by rolling out and just sitting there waiting. Again, it's like run or pass. Again, maybe that rule could be tweaked a little bit because Madden does do a much better job. We actually took it out for a bit and then had to put it back because guys with the fast quarterbacks were kind of manipulating that a little bit. So that's it for all 22. That's the passing FPR. Not a whole lot here, a lot more with the rushing. We'll move our attention to the defense and really start talking about some of the defensive flaws that we found and some of the reason that we have some of this defensive FPR. Until then, have a great rest of your week. God bless you, and we'll see you. Peace.